Hello. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. Live. I've done a couple that aren't live, but this is my first live one. So please bear with me as I'm doing this. I'm new to all this, but we're going to have fun. So my name is Julie, and I am here at Cornerstone Village in Victoria, Minnesota. I'm in the community room. We are a 55 plus resident community, and we can't get together very much. So I thought, let's get together virtually and let's do some things that we can on YouTube. So I've started a YouTube channel, and for those of you who live here, I'm also going to be having some classes. So like the Rent Cafe, Smart Rent, Alexa, I'm going to do some classes on here. So maybe you'll be more comfortable coming to the YouTube channel and being able to learn how to do some things on your apps, which is part of our community and it makes life easier. Today, I am going to make baked potato soup. So my wonderful friend Chris asked me to do soups this month, and I don't know if I've ever even cooked soups, but I thought, why not? You know what? That'll be fun. So we can go ahead and I'll make the soup. I have got one pot started, and because I probably didn't plan accordingly, or maybe wasn't thinking straight, I thought I had another big pan, but I'm going to start the soup in this. And then once we're done here, I'll transfer it over to the other pot and then make it there. But at least we can get started, and I kind of walk you through what we're doing. My recipe, this isn't my recipe by any means. I'm a big fan of Pinterest. So I get a lot of my recipes on Pinterest. Sometimes I take a recipe and I kind of, make it what I want. But today I am actually following the recipe pretty clear, pretty, step by step. So I put the link to my Pinterest board, which will, anytime I do a cooking show or a craft or anything, it will be in my Pinterest board. So today I did the Julie's Virtual Cooking Pinterest board. So you can link on that to get the recipe. You can also always, ask me questions if you'd like. So right now we are going to start. I'm just going to stir my one pot just in case. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I always like to do that. So I'm going to stir that. Also, just a little tidbit of information. I will be having a webcam next week. So I will be able to take the webcam over to the stove and say, look at how pretty this is. Today I'm going to have to kind of bring it to you, but that's okay. You guys know what stuff looks like. So I'm going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in my pan. One thing that they suggested with the baked potato soup, at the end of it, when you go to serve it, you'll put some cheese on top, sour cream, bacon pieces, and scallions. So they have you make the bacon ahead of time, do it here, and then you can use the bacon oil. To save time and a mess, I have decided to go ahead and cook my bacon in the microwave. One of the tips that I have for you guys, and I don't know if you guys are busy, I used to be a single mom for 10 years and I work full time. I was in school full time. Right now I work full time and have 3 teenagers. Oh my goodness. And so one thing I do is I like to prep as much as possible on Sundays. I take 2 to 3 hours and get everything ready so that when I do cook a meal, it's almost all ready and I don't have to do much. So that's one thing that I did with the bacon is I cooked it ahead of time and I had it all crumbled up already so that I don't have to do that today. All right, so like I said, I'm going to start with this pan. Got the EVOO in there, extra virgin olive oil, and you're going to add half an onion chopped. Okay. Oh, now my hands are gross. That's okay. Cook that. Look at this. I'm using the kitchen in the community room, and it's just fantastic. It's so pretty. So we're going to cook the onions, and you want to cook that for about 5 minutes until they're translucent. What I mean by that, and here I'm sounding like I'm this gourmet cook, and I'm not. So just know that we're casual here. But what translucent onions means is that they kind of have that clear look. They're not the white. And you want to get that clear look so that they're not quite as strong. I personally, the older I get, I start getting heartburn and I can't have the raw onions like I used to. I definitely miss that, but it is not worth it. So I cook all my onions. Another thing I do a lot of times if a recipe calls for onions is I might use chives, like fresh chives instead. So I really like those. Okay. So we're cooking this. Let's see, what else can I tell you? One of the things that the recipe said is you're going to want to use the russet potatoes. So the brown russet potatoes. You can either peel them, and I did peel them today just because I didn't know what it would be like. And so that kind of made me nervous since I heard a couple of my residents are planning to come down for some soup. So I wanted to make sure that this was good, but you don't have to peel them. And I bet that would be really pretty in the soup. And the other option that you have, and we can talk about it again as we get there, is you have a choice of mashing the potatoes or keeping them chunky. I really don't know what my preference would be. I kind of like things chunky, like my food chunky. Not me. I don't really like me chunky, although I am, but that's okay. I like my food to be, in pieces. So like a lot of times when there is one soup that I make, gazpacho, which maybe I'll teach you guys this summer. One of my favorite foods in the world. It's a cold tomato soup. I like my pieces really, really big and chunky. And raw. Sometimes I make that soup and add the vegetables right before I eat it so that it's more crunchy. Okay, so now we've got the onions are pretty translucent. I'm going to show you if I can. They're nice and shiny and pretty. Probably could cook it a little bit more, but to save time, I'll do that. So now you're going to take a whisk and 1/4 cup of flour, and you're going to whisk it into here. And you need to do it fast because you don't want it to get all clumpy. Okay, so I kind of just fan it out a little bit and start whisking. You'll also be putting your milk in here, and you do 4 cups of milk as soon as you get this going. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit right now while I'm doing this so it doesn't burn. And you slowly add the milk and make sure that you whisk it because you really do not want the clumps of flour. That would be disgusting. And you want it to be really soak into the milk and dissolve. So I've got 4 cups of milk here. It's actually whole milk, they say. And when I cook, I like to use the whole milk. I do not skimp on that. Butter and stuff like that. I know you can cook healthy. This probably isn't a healthy soup. It's hearty and it's not bad. It's got a lot of, fat in it, but it's going to be good and yummy. Okay, so I'm whisking this, stirring, making sure all the pieces are off the bottom because that's where the flavor goes. And I'm also making sure that all of my flour is dissolved into the milk with the onions. Okay, this pan is not going to fit my whole thing, but I'm going to try. And I'll get an A for effort, right? You're going to put the 4 cups of milk in here. Oh my. This is fun. And stir. And then you're going to add 1 cup of chicken stock. So and obviously you can use vegetable stock if you're not wanting to have any, I don't know what you would do for the milk, I guess, but there's vegan milk out there, right? So you want to now we have all this together. You also want to have 1 clove of garlic. Now, this is my best friend. It's a jar of minced garlic, and I keep it in my fridge. And it just saves time. so that you don't have to go ahead and do the clove. I do like to do the clove. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to grow them. Ouch. But to save time, like I said, I like to make things really easy for myself to be able to cook on an evening after I get home from work and, driving my kids around and all that. It's just kind of a crazy life for me. So if I'm going to cook, I want to make it simple. And that's one of the ways I can make it simple. Already grated cheese is another way. So, one other thing they have that pre-cooked bacon you could do. Not the best, but it's a way to, cut time. And it's also clean, which I like. I like to have a clean kitchen while I cook. Okay, so this is I'm not going to put the potatoes in here quite yet because it's going to go crazy. But I am going to show you the soup that I made. So this is almost done. Oh, it looks fantastic. Oh, it's thick and creamy. And so what I did was I put after the milk, you got the 4 cups of milk, the cup of chicken stock, and then the clove of garlic, right? Then after you stir all that together and make sure that flour is dissolved, like I said, then you're going to add your 4 cups of cut potatoes. I cut them about this size. And then you're going to put it in there. You're going to bring it to a boil, and then you turn it down on low and cover it, kind of like have the lid kind of off of it, and then you simmer it for about 20 minutes. Okay, so that's when you get that done. And this, I hope you can see, is what it looks like. Well, you can't see it very well, can you? How do I do that? There, you can see a little bit. See, it's creamy and good. And the way you test it is by taking a fork and just seeing if the potato will go through. Ooh, those look good. Yeah, and they would mash right now. And so I am going to take my masher. This is a masher. I don't usually use one of these very often, but I'm not going to mash all of them, but I am going to mash some. So I thought I would kind of do a combo. They recommended the person that did this recipe said they mash them, but I thought it would be kind of nice to have a little bit of chunky in there. Then I'm going to mash probably half of it because then I think that would add kind of to the creaminess, right? Okay, we're almost done here. Oh, this looks really good. I'm not a huge soup person, but maybe I should be, huh? I know there's a place in Eden Prairie that I just love their soups. It's called Zupa's Cafe Zupa's, and they have the best salads, and they have really good soup. They have this mushroom, what is it like? I don't know, a creamy mushroom soup. Oh my goodness, it's to die for. I love it. Okay, so we got that pretty mashed. I kind of mashed, well, probably half of it. Half of it I didn't. I'm going to see if I like that. Now you're going to add some really good richness to it. So we're going to add, let's see on my recipe, 3/4 cup grated cheese. I'm using grated white cheddar. And then 6 strips of cooked bacon crumbled. So about a handful because I have a whole bunch. And then salt and pepper, and then 3/4 cup sour cream. That is going to make it good. So here is my cheese. I've got my sour cream here, not the light stuff. You want to make it creamy. I mean, even though that would be healthier, so you could do that, but you're going to miss out on some of that cream. And then you got a good chunk of bacon. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a different kind of spoon. Here we go. And now you just stir it up. Oh my goodness, you guys, this looks so good. Oh my, very creamy. This is a hearty soup. There are no worries there. Oh, that's my timer to tell me that my stuff is done. I did it a little sooner than I needed to, so I'll cancel that. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to dish up a bowl and show you how you would serve it. We have such pretty dishes at Cornerstone. Aren't they pretty? There's like a bunch of different colors. I love it. Okay, so you got your soup. You can see that thick. Oh my goodness, this looks good. Ooh, I have a feeling a little would go a long way. Don't you? Okay, then you take on the bowl of soup, you're going to put the shredded cheese right on top and a dollop of sour cream. And then what am I missing? Bacon. Just a little bit, chunk of bacon, just for luck. And then I have some scallions that I'm going to chop up real quick. Just add that to the top. And there you go. I wonder how I can. Ooh, there, look. There you go. Doesn't that look good? I think it looks really good. I'm going to taste it, of course, because that's the benefit of being the one cooking, right? And I want to make sure I get all of the pieces in here. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's really good. Tastes like a baked potato. Hence why it's called a baked potato soup, right? Okay, so thank you for joining me today, you guys. I really appreciate your patience. Please put in the comments anything that, any ideas, hey, Julie, you talk too fast. I'm very aware that I do. But go ahead and put that in the comments if that's something that you think I could work on. Be nice. Be nice to me. But I do think it's important that I'm learning while I'm learning all this and going to be bringing you more videos that I, have good feedback and I know how to do this in the best way possible. Also, next week we're going to make tomato bisque soup, and it's actually kind of a recipe that's supposed to taste like the Panera tomato bisque soup, which is basil tomato bisque, which is one of my favorites. So I'm actually really excited about that one. And like I said, I'm learning with you. So have a great day, and I will see you all later. Bye.